brands that A/B test, every single brand saw an increase in conversion, and it ranged from 27% on the low end to 550% on the high end.
We found out that it actually makes more sense to try to attract these new customers with point solutions or more direct, straightforward apps.
So like if you're not A/B testing, you're leaving 20% on the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phill Moorman is a seasoned marketing leader and vice president of marketing at Shogun. From driving $50 million in GMV at Sourcify to scaling brands like StockTwits and SparkFin, Phillip brings deep expertise in growth, go-to-market strategy, and performance optimization.
What we built is AI generator for 2.0 sections. In Shopify, within your admin, we provide you a prompt box. You tell it exactly what you want. It will generate the whole thing, usually within one prompt. The benefit of personalization is you make just one landing page, and then you make variants of each of that. So you can build an entire pretty robust influencer campaign.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Shopify 1% podcast. I'm very excited for this one because it's not a repeat guest per se, but it's a repeat company because the company's been up to a lot since the last time we had Shogun on. They are, I would say as a company, not pivoting, but expanding and changing and doing some really interesting things. And so if you listened to an episode, I don't know when it was, it might've been about 5 or 6 months ago with one of the founders of Shogun, this will be very different because some of the products that we're going to talk about today didn't exist back then. So I have Phill Moorman with me. He's the COO, correct, right?
CEO, yep.
And all right. Well, first of all, welcome here. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be on here. I've seen the episodes with Nick. Super excited to kind of continue on with that.
Let's see if we can get yours to have more views than Nick's.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
exactly.
So you can rub it in his face in the office.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll just make it, we'll boost the YouTube video a little bit or something to get more views.
We'll put some paid behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell him. Oh shoot, he'll hear it. Okay. So when Nick and I spoke, I don't know, I guess it was about 6 months ago, all we talked about was Shogun Page Builder, which everyone knows Page Builder. I think, when did that launch? Like, it was like
2015.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the OG page builder solutions on Shopify. When I think of a page builder, Shogun just comes to mind. So I think I was speaking with Nick, and page builder does a lot. Like page builder, there's like advanced personalized sections and A/B testing. And I think there was this realization that Shopify merchants want specific tools, or sometimes it was intimidating. Even just A/B testing is intimidating to some merchants. And so the thesis was we need to make it more approachable. I shouldn't be speaking for you because we'll get into this, but I'm just talking about what when Nick and I spoke before. This was his thesis, that to make it more approachable for Shopify merchants for more specific tasks rather than a big, large product that maybe is a little bit, even though I'd say Page Builder is not intimidating at all, but maybe for some merchants it was. And so the thesis was, can we build, I want to say, more smaller modular apps that serve a specific purpose that are very clean, elegant, and easy to use? That was the last time we chatted. That was about 5 or 6 months ago. And now here we are today. And so I'd like to check in on that, how that's going. But before we do that, what did you launch? What did you ship? And I know there's one around the corner that's coming out, but probably by the time this episode's live, it's going to be out. So we can talk about that one too. So tell me what's happened in the last 5 months at Shogun.
Yeah, so absolutely. So just stepping back a little bit, we did try to go the sort of like robust platform route. So we built into Page Builder, personalization, and A/B testing, two pretty important tools. It just didn't really work for the customer base. And we found out, that's why we've sort of pivoted, I guess, a little bit, is we found out that it actually makes more sense to try to attract these new customers with point solutions or more direct, straightforward apps. So we actually pulled out, you can still get these things in Page Builder, but we actually did create separate outside apps for A/B testing, personalization, and we're about to launch an AI section builder. So we're building out this entire suite of tools. This is just kind of the beginning, but we're excited. We're seeing a lot of early traction. I think this direction makes a lot of sense for a lot of the merchants we work with, and also new merchants. that aren't working with us through the page builder product. That's sort of going through its own little moment right now, especially with Shopify 2.0. So, we've kind of shifted to what the market needs. And so I'm pretty excited to get these things out, especially A/B testing. That's been out for a couple months now, and it's still something I think a lot of merchants are kind of afraid to approach, or they're just not sure how to approach it.
It's mind blowing. I bet you if I surveyed our listeners, I bet you 9 out of 10 are not A/B testing simple things like even just header copy, like their homepage. Like maybe you don't have to A/B test every product page, but like simple things, I bet you they're not. They're going off their gut. They're going off of what they think looks good. But the data shows, and I don't know, this was from one report I saw, but brands that A/B test, every single brand saw an increase in conversion, and it ranged from 27% on the low end to 550% on the high end. Like there wasn't a single brand ever in this one study that I read that A/B tested and saw no increase or decrease, but every single one increased. Like to me, it's one of those things that like it should be a no-brainer, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's talking about it. You see it all over LinkedIn and X, I guess now I still call it Twitter. You still see people talking about it, how they should be doing it. And I think it comes down to when we're having conversations with merchants and agencies, it's actually interesting. There's just the value to risk ratio is a little off for especially bigger brands. They're just not sure if they run the test. If it doesn't work out, that's a lot of lost sales, right? Half your traffic or so, or 10% of your traffic may never see the actual converting page. So there's that fear of that, but also especially the mid-sized brands, they just don't know what to test. They're just not sure what they should start with. And I think they get a little overwhelmed with all the options and they just never move forward with it. Sort of like an analysis paralysis situation.
Yeah. And I think there's probably also, I know 5 years ago, if you wanted to A/B test, you were using tools like Optimizely and Google Optimize. And these were somewhat complicated tools to use. You had to go into your theme and add classes and wrappers around certain sections so that you could test them. And like it required a little bit of coding knowledge to set it up and then set up the tests. And it wasn't super simple. Now, the Shogun's A/B tester, when it first came out, I took a peek at it. It's probably evolved since then, but I remember thinking like, holy cow, I could have an A/B test up in probably like 30 seconds. It was like, pick what do you want to test? Walk me through the process now, because I haven't logged in recently, but I remember when I first came out, I was like, oh, like check this out. And I remember my mind was blown how quick with zero code that I could have a test set up. What does that look like? So like someone's listening thinking that A/B tests are confusing or they need a developer or someone uses this app. What's the process?
Yeah, and so it's super straightforward. And that's the philosophy of Shogun, right? It's the no code, just easy to get going. So we built around that. And so now this A/B testing tool, literally just install the app and it's right in your Shopify admin. So you go in there, open it up, you can select your page. You'll get a list of pages you can do an A/B test on. Pick the page you want to work with. From there, we make a copy of that page. And so you'll see two kind of like boxes, right? Your original page and your variant page. In the variant page, you can edit the layout. You just click edit in your Shopify editor, change the text, move things around. It's seriously that easy. Almost feel like I'm doing a disservice by just explaining it so quickly, but it is literally that easy. You can go in there, make any changes you want, save your variant. And then after that, you just pick kind of what the goal you want to track is and how much traffic you want to send to the variant. So typically a good test is 50-50 split between traffic, but you can do whatever, 10-90 and anything in between. So after that, you publish it and run it. And then we start collecting that data for you.
Okay. So what are some of the pages you can test? Homepage, collection, product?
So any 2.0 page. So collections, products, homepage, anything, any of those pages.
There's nothing off the table?
No.
Okay. And then you can test, what kind of elements can you test on those pages? Is it images, copy?
Images,
titles,
copy, entire sections. You can test an entire page. We allow for URL testing. So you can have a completely separate page. So you can even do, so not even just 2.0 pages, but you can do like a page builder page versus a 2.0 page. So you can do entire pages, sections, and anything in between.
Interesting. We're internally, we're having a bit of a discussion right now at Bold. We have a new app coming out in a little while, and we're like, what's the best form of landing page? I often find myself, I enjoy long form landing pages, but I'm a reader. I'll watch every video, I'll read. But I think the majority of people want short form, sweet, get to the point, and then an action. But we should test it, of course, obviously, and see what converts. So you said you then pick your goals. What would be different goals? Let's give some examples of that.
This type of click-through rate, right? Clicking on buttons, conversion rate from the page, and that kind of stuff. So we have a series of set goals that you can test against, and you can even do custom goals. So if you can, this will require some code, but if you can set your own goal within your theme, we can pull that in and pull that data for you.
So a conversion is some type of action the user takes. So like they click a button or submit a form or add product, or
we can show you everything from like the sales you're making to the page. We can show you the exact products that are being sold because they landed on this page. So yeah.
Oh, you meant actual sale conversion.
Sale conversions. Yeah, we can do. Yep.
Okay. So show them variants. Which one had a higher chance of the customer ending up buying?
Yep.
So that's a good question there. So like the action you might want them to take might be more on the page. Like they might stay on the page longer, or they might click something, but maybe they have a lower conversion in the end.
Right.
So what you test really matters too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You got to look at the end. So that's the thing too. I mean, even on my side, so my career's been marketing the entire time, and A/B testing has been a thing since I can't even remember how long. It's just always been around. But people get really excited, like, hey, this page is getting more click through, or this is, like people are moving through the funnel more with this page. But if you're not tracking that end, like your actual revenue being generated, which is something that we look at and report back to you, there's no point, because clicks, I don't want to call it a vanity metric. I think it's a leading indicator in some ways, but if you're not tying it back to revenue, I think it's almost a waste of time in terms of testing. So we do that. We definitely make sure that's very clear. And again, like I said, we do offer, it's in a higher tier plan, but we do offer and show you the exact products. So not just revenue you're making, but also exact products people are purchasing after reaching this page that you're testing. And it could be a landing page you're testing or a page within the funnel you're testing. But we record that and give you that kind of journey output in the analytics that we have in there.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I could definitely see scenarios where a page might get good engagement, but not purchases. And maybe you just don't have a good call to action to buy. Maybe you need a sticky add to cart button because customers are scrolling down and reading, but then they get lost in all the information and distracted. And
right.
So your metric might be that, okay, my goal of higher engagement on the page is there, but it's not ending up in a sale.
Right.
That's, yeah. Can you segment? So you mentioned you can set different ratios. Can you control it all by a certain type of a customer or where they're coming from or anything like that? Or is it just randomized and you set a percentage?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have taken some of what we built into our personalization app and put that directly into the A/B testing app.
Oh, nice.
So you can target segments by like referral source, or if they're logged in, logged out, and that kind of thing, to give like a more personalized experience. And this is something we're always expanding and working on, but it's actually pretty robust. Even like in our personalization app, you can track segment by city, look like country, all sorts of things. So yeah, segmentation is a huge part too. And you can actually test your segment to see which one is actually converting better on those pages. And then you can use that information and refine your marketing plans, right? Take that information back to your paid channels and improve your targeting there for that segment as well, and see if you can, build a more efficient funnel throughout the whole process.
Yeah. Where do you find people using it the most? Is it for paid traffic, like optimizing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's still like the big one.
Yeah.
For e-commerce, right? I mean, we all want to move into the organic space, but it's so hard, especially now with AI. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how organic plays out there. But yeah, it's definitely a paid play. And the people that come to us and speak to us on the calls are typically growth marketers, paid marketers, looking to optimize those landing pages.
Right. So interesting. Okay, now, do you find brands using it? I guess I was going to say not just for A/B testing, but just to literally send different traffic, different places. But that's probably where the personalization app comes in. Like if I want to send all my logged in existing customers a page, but a new customer, I maybe want to greet them a little bit differently, introduce the brand, introduce our story, have a bit of a different homepage versus someone who's logged in. I know they know us, they've purchased from us before. So I can maybe just show deals or trending or bestsellers on the homepage versus maybe a little bit of a brand story. Is that a better use case for the personalization tool, or would you see people doing that with the A/B testing tool?
So that's exactly what personalization was designed for, but a lot of people are using the A/B testing tool to do that.
Because you can route it.
Because you can, yeah. So, I mean, it's fine, right? It doesn't really matter. But yeah, we built personalization for that. I will say personalization just hasn't gained a lot of interest in and of itself. We're still figuring out positioning there. But it is interesting to see people using A/B testing for the personalization use case. So we'll have to figure out, what that actually means in terms of those two products, if we just merge them completely or go from there. But yeah, it is something that customers are using a lot of for, is that segment routing. And I think it's really important, especially as we move into this era of ads are just not as efficient as they used to be. We also, budgets are probably getting cut with the way things are going. So building out more personalized campaigns at scale, basically, with either a personalization tool or the A/B testing tool, is actually a great way to make your campaigns more efficient and hopefully reduce that cost of acquisition for you.
Would you say there's a point in which, like, should a brand always A/B test and continue? So you A/B test, you find a winner. Now you take that winner, you A/B test something else. Like first you're A/B testing the headline, then you're A/B testing. I mean, what's best practices for that? Because if you're A/B testing two complete different pages, you want to know what made one better, right? So I would imagine you'd want to like isolate one specific variant, test, then test another. Or what do you recommend a brand does if there's?
I think it really depends on the brand. I've worked at startups that have 5,000 monthly visitors to like 1 million monthly visitors. If you're doing like 1 million monthly visitors, you can do an A/B test every day and learn something new and probably make a 0.5% increase on your conversions. And that's a significant amount of money at that level, right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing like 5,000 a month and your sales, I don't know, maybe 20, 30,000 a month in sales, like continuously A/B testing, sure, you might get some nice tweaks and some, additional boosts here and there, but is that really priority, or is there other ways that you should be focusing your time? I think it just depends, again, where you're at in the business. I think you should definitely launch your page, A/B test it with some significant changes and see if you can get bigger 5, 10%, 30% increases in your click-through or conversions. But if you've got to the point where you're seeing those big conversions and like your tests moving forward are just really small, like maybe small boosts or maybe not anything at all, probably pull away and either test something completely new or look at the rest of your channel or your customer journey and then go from there. But yeah, it just depends on the brand, really.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also at some point, I could see brands wanting a certain look, but if you A/B test it, the look might not convert, right? Like there's a lot of sexy e-commerce sites that I bet don't convert well. Like there's like I always say, you don't break something that works. And there's a certain menu structure that works. And there's a certain, people expect category pages to work a certain way. When you try to reinvent it, you might have a neat look, but it confuses the customer, right? And like,
yeah, it's actually funny you bring that up. We've actually had customers and we've done tests with them that actually did improve their conversion rate significantly. Like it wasn't a small amount, but it was off brand. They didn't want it. It just didn't match the flow of the rest of the site. So that in some cases can be more important, especially if you're building sort of more of a lifelong type of customer brand instead of like the one-off stuff. So again, it comes down to the brand, but yeah, it was interesting to see, again, as a marketer by career, seeing somebody turn down the prospect of like 30% increase in conversions. And it's a significant amount of money just because it's just not on brand. It doesn't fit.
Well, at least you know the numbers, and then you can make an educated decision.
Right.
I saw someone run a test recently on their collection page, and they were testing to have a hero image or not on a collection page. And the result was the pages without hero images converted better. So just when you go to shoes, literally shoes are showing right away, not a big banner at the top showing like spring shoes are in or something along those lines. But as a brand, it hurts to know that because you want to have your hero image there. And so like, but at least then you would know like, okay, when we have that hero image there, we see a dip, we see an 8% drop in conversion. But now you need to know, is there another reason why you want that hero image? Are you promoting something else? Are you building, I can't think of a good reason off the top of my head, but you can make an educated decision, I guess, at that point, right?
Right.
Like at least you have that information.
Well, it's the balance of, getting that initial sale versus telling the story of your brand, I think.
Right.
And so that's the other thing to be careful of, right? If you're A/B testing and what you see is you're getting a lot of great sales up front, but no one's coming back, are you really A/B testing for the right metrics there or the right customer base? So it's something that you have to just, I don't know, something you have to balance as a brand. I think actually now saying this out loud, I think Shogun should also just get better at sharing some of those analytics long-term of the customer base too. What does the repeat purchase rate look like, right? And that kind of thing. So there's a lot to it. It's not as simple and straightforward as just like testing copy or an image. It's definitely more depth to it for sure. I did see actually on LinkedIn, I think it's like a week or two ago, a brand. So, like image gallery, especially on mobile, you see the big image and then below it, there's like smaller images of the product.
Yep.
When you land on a product page, they got rid of the rest of the gallery and just showed the big product image, and their conversions went up. I think it's pretty significant amount, 30 to 60%, something like that. I don't remember the exact amount, but I think that's the other thing too, to like
interesting
optimizing for that mobile experience, something to, I think, really A/B test, but also the social experience, right? We're so used to our social now taking up the entire screen of the phone, either through video or images, making the shopping experience feel the same way. So when they do come from social channels, it's just a simple thumb movement to make that purchase instead of having to scroll down a little bit to see that purchase button. So those are the other things to consider when A/B testing for sure.
Okay, now tell me about Shogun personalization.
Personalization. So that is basically just taking or allowing you to build segments. It's kind of like a mini CDP-ish.
Okay.
If you want to describe it that way.
Customer data platform.
Customer data platform. So basically you can take, just similar to A/B testing, you can look at the URL they come from, referral source, city, or I should say location, and if they're logged in, logged out, and all sorts of different little segment types. And you can build out we have a little drop down. You can pick the different segments, what you want to pick within those segments. So let's say you pick city, Miami, and then you also pick, they come from this partner source or something, this partner URL or UTM. And so you can really refine who sees the page. And so how that works is it's also just like A/B testing. It's built right into the Shopify admin. You install the app, you're already in it basically. And it shows you two different boxes. So you see your original page and then your variant pages. And so you can create multiple variants, as many as you need, by segment that you create. So again, let's say we're selling swimsuits and we have just our original page targets everybody. And then we have our Miami page specifically. So when you go to make that variant, you can go into the page, edit it, change the copy, change the images, just like A/B testing, change the layout of the page. You can't do a completely separate page. This is actually, a variant of the original, unlike the A/B testing that does allow URL testing. But with that variant, again, changing the copy, changing the buttons, everything else to make it more personalized. And what happens is the people that meet those segment requirements will only see that segment page until it's gone. So as long as it's live, they will always see that page. There's no like redirect. There's no flash. It's not like an awkward experience. It's just, that's the page they see.
That's what loads.
Yep. That's what loads. So it's a pretty smooth experience.
What is the best use case that's relatively easy to set up? Is it location? Like someone, I can imagine East Coast, West Coast, maybe summer, winter, or like colder climates, warmer climates. And like if you're selling clothing, different hero images or different speaking to that location, or like what's a real quick win for personalization?
So the one that we see most commonly used is actually location. And so we have these brands that sell locally.
Yeah.
And so they have different locations throughout various states, but they don't sell all the same products at all those locations.
Gotcha.
So they use that personalization to create these landing pages that just show the products of the store closest to the customer. So
okay.
makes it, because the issue was actually people were ordering things from like 2 states away. It's like either you drive here or we have to refund you, basically.
Right.
So and we've seen that actually with various brands at this point. Just based on your location, certain things just are not available to you.
Is the product, so what page would this be? Is this like a collection page or a home page and you just are showing different products?
They're either making landing pages or collections pages.
Okay.
Yeah, based on that. So when you do land on like the collection of what's available locally, that's just all you see. So they can still go through the site in some ways or get around it, which is unfortunate and something we're looking into. But
like if they searched for it or typed in the URL,
right,
but they wouldn't just see it on the collection page.
Exactly. And so again, a lot of this comes from paid. So right, direct paid landing page, and you put them in the flow and you build your flow around that personalization. So it's not something that they would necessarily jump out of that flow, but it is possible to jump out of that flow.
Like, I mean, could you do something too? Like if you can do it by source, if you have a influencer program, could you do it by maybe someone's email newsletter? That might be tough because you wouldn't have a URL. Actually, could you add?
You could, yeah. So you can do UTMs. So you can give you can give any of your partners or influencers a specific UTM, and then they would land on that page personalized for them, right? You can show the influencer's face and a quote from that influencer and everything else to make it really jive with the social campaign I'm assuming you're running with that influencer.
Well, that's been proven to increase conversion are you familiar with super affiliate?
Yeah.
It's basically their business model is influencer landing pages, but they create full-blown landing pages. I think you could probably get 90% of the win. And I'm a fan of super affiliate, great product. But if you didn't want to build full-blown landing pages for each affiliate, you could probably get 90% of the effectiveness, at least by having like their picture and Jay recommends or recommended by Jay. And I see some products that I recommend or something like that. Even like that addresses the trust, I'm not just clicking a random affiliate link. It's actually, there's a connection with me and the brand. Like, yes, a big fancy landing page would be nice, which I guess you could do that with Shogun too, page builder, and then send them to each one of those. But like quick win, this would probably increase conversion for sure.
Well, yeah. This is again, that like the benefit of personalization is you make just one landing page and then you make variants of each that. And then, for the influencers, they each get their own UTM. So let's say you have 5 different variants of this page, and all you have to do is switch out, say, the hero section, put the influencer space up there, put a quote by them, and then show the products most linked to that audience, that influencer's audience. And so you can do that how many times you need to very quickly. So you can build an entire pretty robust influencer campaign.
So you could actually probably do exactly what super affiliate does with Shogun. If you built a template for a page that was, and I haven't looked at super affiliate for a while, but I know when they first launched, the concept was if I'm an influencer for, let's just say, a beauty brand, and you click on my link on my Instagram profile and I'm talking about beauty products, you land on a site and it's like, here's my recommendation, my products, my 7 favorite skin creams or something along those lines. And it's a bit of a curated list of products I recommend or whatever it is, clothing, t-shirts, something. You should be able to do that very simply, I would imagine, with Shogun. Create the template, have a different, just slap in the, create a template in Canva for like the influencers like headshot with a background color, put in, and then in Shogun on a landing page, you can pick specific products to show in it, right?
Yeah. The whole thing can be personalized. So
that would be gold. That would be,
it's so funny though. Like personalization it's just not, I don't know. It's not, and that the way it's positioned is just not something people are immediately searching for. So we've been playing around with different ways to position the product, and this might be the right angle.
It's all packaging. Hey, it's like you can sell the same product, but you package it as something else and then it sells. And so like really what it is like if you packaged it up as like personalized influencer landing pages, which really it does that. But anyways, just, I mean, that's interesting. You almost want to think about like use cases, like what are like the 5 ways that people would use this, like for maybe like email campaigns, for exclusive offers, for VIP programs where VIPs get access to something, influencer programs. And then you have these like pre-packaged workflows or solutions, because it's like the power's there. It's just packaging it that way.
100%. So we've had this conversation since it launched, actually. Like, how can do we split it up into like, I guess, separate apps, but it's still really the same app, and position each specific for like specific use cases? Or do we try to capture kind of like a broader use case and see if that brings people in? So it's definitely, like you said, the packaging issue is the biggest one, because the tool is super powerful. The tool is great and works very well. It's just, we just haven't brought in that interest yet. So it's just kind of a stab in the heart as a marketer. We haven't quite figured that out. I'd love to see the numbers go up. It's just the one challenge so far that we haven't quite cracked, but I think we will. We'll definitely get there.
It's like you go to a hardware store and all the lumber can be there and all the tools and hammers and every saw you need. But what people want to buy, they'll pay twice as much for the deck kit.
Yep, exactly.
Packaged, ready to go, exactly what you need to build a 10 by 10 deck, instead of half price for the lumber. And so like you kind of have like, you've got the product to do anything.
Yep.
Maybe it's like themes, like you have affiliate themes and then something along those lines, right? So yeah, that's very powerful. I can definitely, like, I mean, the data shows that like when affiliates click in, and then if you can pull in, it'd be super interesting. I just had not a call, on the podcast this morning. You're familiar with VideoWise?
Yeah.
So they just recently launched like live video shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they're doing is you can have live shopping on your site, of course, but you can also push it to every social channel, which is awesome, because if you have live shopping on your site, it pushes to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, everything. But what they're seeing some brands do, and they're seeing incredible success with it, is they're pushing it to their influencers pages. And so if an influencer has 100,000 followers, they'll push the live stream. They'll say, can we push this to your channel? And we'll give you 5% of sales generated during the live stream. But then now if you could make it so the link from that influencer, because like if I just saw a live stream being pushed to an influencer channel or like Instagram account, and I clicked on the product and there was no mention of the influencer, it feels like a very much like okay, someone's just paying to put a post on their channel, which we see all the time. But if I click the link and it says like Kim Kardashian recommends these products or whatever it is, right? That whoever the influencer is, I think that would even close the loop even more too, to tie it all together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being sent to that kind of generic landing page would definitely, I think, turn a lot of people away. So that's kind of what we were trying to solve for, right? Making that whole journey more personalized. And I think maybe we need to be speaking with VideoWise to do some sort of cross promo partnership there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, you can do the live streaming anywhere, but he was saying that brands are seeing really good success by pushing it to their influencers. So yeah. How hard is like to install it and get it set up? Like how fast can you have a
seconds? It's all built in Shopify directly.
So you can have personalization with zero theme editing code at all.
Correct. Yeah. And the segments that we do offer are just already pre-built too. You don't have to like upload lists or anything. It's just, we pull that data for you.
So if someone's listening right now and they're not doing personalization, what do you recommend? Where do they start?
I would start with definitely holiday sales. We have Black Friday coming up. And so segmenting your audience, looking at your audience members, certain locations, past year's data, what areas converted the best, and create landing pages or variants for those specific segments. So it could be, LA might have converted the best for your product line during Black Friday. Create a special personalized page for them and run your Black Friday ads to that. Obviously, you want to run broader Black Friday ad campaigns, but definitely segment out a little bit of your paid to try that, to see if you can actually get more efficiency there, lower the cost of that acquisition for those segments.
Yeah, because there's no, I mean, with Shopify, you can have different country sites, but state by state and city and province, like there's no way you'd have to have a different site for each one. Like it would kind of be the only way that I know of.
Yeah, it's a great solution. Unless you're really dedicating like your brand to establishing sort of a home base in a country, this personalization route's probably the best way to go. And again, like you said, we get definitely more refined with the locations as well than just country.
Right. And then the app that's coming out, which is probably going to be out by the time this is live.
So this is the AI section builder. So we all know AI is everywhere, right? AI is a part of actually my daily process at this point. But it's interesting. So we've seen kind of a mixed bag between, I'll explain the product here in a second, but we've seen a mixed bag between people really loving the idea of AI and injecting AI into their workflow, and people flat out telling us they will never touch AI. So it's been an interesting experience building this one and speaking with the customer base. But what we built is basically an AI generator for 2.0 sections. So directly, again, in Shopify, within your admin, we provide you a prompt box. You tell it exactly what you want. Say you want a hero section, 2 columns, an image on the right side, and copy on the left side with a CTA button. It will generate that whole thing, usually within one prompt. It's pretty solid. And it does animations, and it does, interactivity and all sorts of stuff. So it's like you have your own little personal developer building out a section. And so this is perfect for those campaign managers or e-commerce managers looking to build out quick landing page campaign landing pages. So like say Black Friday, and you want a new Black Friday hero section, tell it what you want. So it builds a section, then you can publish directly into Shopify, into your Shopify editor, and pull that section right into the page and use it wherever you want, multiple pages or whatever.
So these would be great for having different sections for your product pages where you're having like testimonials or user generated content or maybe info grids of learning about products. Like, is that where you envision it being used the most, or like home pages or?
Yeah. So getting those more interactive sections that I think a lot of merchants just don't do because one, it's time consuming. You have to go through design, you have to go through engineering. And then when you want to edit it, it's like impossible if you're not, the programmer. So this allows you to build that section, publish it, and then go back and then tweak it later code-wise, or you can tweak it in the Shopify editor, right? Change the copy, whatever, with the Shopify configuration inputs. But yeah, it's totally. So we've had customers use it for like we had a furniture customer use it for a section at the bottom of their landing page that allowed you to hover over each of the different products, and it gave you like a little more description of the product in the picture. So it's pretty cool to see. Like it does really advanced stuff. It's not just like a basic section. It's pretty cool stuff.
And it kind of ties nicely into the personalization, because now you can quickly spin up sections that you can use for personalization, right? Like you can then, if you wanted to make 50 sections, one for each state, that would take a lot of time. But now with this, that can speed up that process. And then you could have potentially a different section, or maybe returns are not allowed in certain states, or there's different rules. This actually comes up all the time. Like depending what you're selling, there's different guidelines and rules state by state. You can have different disclaimers on products in certain states.
Yeah.
Then use the personalization tool to show that if they're from Alaska, for example, and shipping is going to be double, or you don't ship to Alaska or whatever. I don't know. But I can see a real tie between those two.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's our goal.
And A/B testing too, actually.
Yep, exactly. So that's our goal, to build out this broader ecosystem that just works, right? So you can kind of pick and choose what you want to work with, like which app makes sense for you today. But we want them to get to the point where they're so integrated, where you have just a streamlined workflow between each of the apps. So yes, generating those sections for personalized variants, or generating those to test in an A/B test. And it's all built native Shopify. So there's that, background native compatibility, but we're working on ways to make that much more fluid experience between the apps as well.
And none of this, you don't need Shogun Page Builder for any of this.
Nope. It's all built outside.
Yep. I mean, there's a potential plus if they do, because then they can actually, is there even? I mean, if Page Builder is nice because it's drag and drop and you don't, but you can A/B test just your regular theme settings and everything else, right?
Yeah. So yeah, back to A/B testing. Yes, you can definitely do theme, and yes, obviously your pages. But with Page Builder, we have A/B testing built in. So that's specifically for testing those Page Builder pages against each other. And we do have personalization built into Page Builder as well. The section builder is not yet built into Page Builder, but it's something we're looking to integrate. But these are separate. So that's the call, and that's what we're working through right now is the Page Builder A/B testing and personalization is actually separate from the separate A/B testing and personalization apps. So they are a little different. And we are moving people into the new apps. Those are more robust, and that's where we're focused. But yeah, you can integrate with Page Builder. So you can do, like I was mentioning, that URL test. So you can test a Page Builder page against a Shopify 2.0 page. So there is that option, but it's not like a native integration quite yet.
And what are the costs to get started with these apps?
So we've got free plans, and we've got really cheap, less than $20 plans for these apps. We're still working on, we might just make personalization free is something that we're talking about to begin at least. But yeah,
even $20, like I'm just pulling them up here, but so, I mean, that's incredible. Like if you want, there's no reason someone shouldn't do A/B testing. So like what is that app specifically?
A/B testing?
Yeah.
Is it $20?
Do you get a certain number of tests, or is that's just a flat?
Yeah. So with A/B testing, you get one test, one active test, and from there you can expand to unlimited tests. But yeah, when you start at the $20 plan, it pretty much covers what you need.
Gotcha.
For the most part, if you're a smaller brand, I would say it definitely covers what you need. It's a great entry into A/B testing. But we've scaled up to the point where you can do unlimited tests with the higher tier plans. We are also adding additional features to the advanced plan, like price testing. It's a very popular thing. It's not quite out yet, so I don't know if I'm supposed to share that, but it'll be out probably by the end of August. So we're really excited for that one. We're going to start promoting that very soon. And that's a big request we get from people. But we do have definitely more advanced testing options there.
Will that be part of A/B testing, or will that be a standalone?
Nope, that'll be part of it. Yeah, and just the higher tier plan. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, I think there is a very good argument for that to be like dynamic pricing as a standalone tool, where if it's testing pricing, seasonal pricing based off factors. I don't know. Every retail store now has these liquid LCD price tags. They look like paper, but they're dynamic and they're changing. And if it's raining outside, the price of umbrellas goes up 10% or different things, and based off inventory and all kinds of stuff. Like it's in brick and mortar stores and everyone's doing it. I feel like that is Amazon does it. Like it's all based off of like velocity of ordering, how many times you've looked at a product. It's interesting. I mean, that's amazing if it's part of A/B testing. Could also almost be its own standalone tool as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's something that when we have shared with the merchants, like A/B testing, especially the bigger merchants or larger merchants, it's definitely something they bring up. It's something that like they're really what they want to test when they're thinking about A/B testing. But totally, yeah, it could be a separate app. We could really build that out into something where you do see that kind of surge pricing as well. And, reporting on those metrics, testing against original pricing, against surge pricing, that kind of thing would definitely be a really cool option.
What are some of the best results you've seen brands get with A/B testing?
We regularly see 20-30% with A/B testing.
Crazy.
In terms of conversion, like actual sales conversions. Yeah. That's pretty common. And so that's the part.
So like if you're not A/B testing, you're leaving 20% on the table.
Oh yeah, easily.
That's a safe statement.
Yeah, absolutely. I would endorse that statement. And we see it even at Shogun ourselves, A/B testing, right? On the B2B side, we see regular gains like that. It's just something that you can't ignore.
Yeah.
But I would say, again, it comes down to, and this is the feedback we get or the questions we get is like, where do we start? What should we test? Why should we test this? And so we built tons of resources around, like we have an A/B testing library on our website with, I don't know how many ideas, maybe 50 plus ideas of things to test on the site. We also built a personalization library. So all the location type of testing or UTM type testing, we have tons of ideas for that. It's just something I think people are still a little just not sure of for the most part. If they've never done it before, I can definitely see how it's a little intimidating. It's a little concerning because again, you are taking a live page and diverting some of that traffic. So if you're expecting X number of sales and you got to hit that quarter, it's scary to be like, well, we might actually just cut that in half because we're going to divert the traffic and see what happens.
It might also be more.
It could be more. Yeah. It's just scary.
Like-
It's your risk appetite, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the game of e-commerce. Like if you don't have the ability to test, I think you're on a downward spiral, because then you're just flying by your instincts and your gut, and that can get you in a lot of trouble too.
Yeah. Well, especially like ad prices. I can't believe the cost of these things. I remember when I started working at Shogun, and our conversion, like our cost per conversion, was significantly less than what it is now.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we've tested the pages. We got better conversion rates since then.
Yeah, you should have the best conversion of any app
Yeah.
company.
Yeah, we've been testing years and
Yeah.
years and years, but just the cost in general, it's just rising. Like there's nothing you can really do about it. And so we see that on the e-commerce side too with our merchants. The cost to acquire these customers has become significant to the point where certain products you're selling don't even make you money anymore because you're just getting people in the door. And so that, that can be acceptable if they're loss leaders and you get good repeat purchase rates, but you don't see that often either. So it's like you have to continuously test, and what are you actually showing out there is extremely important right now.
That's a whole nother show, but I feel like that is a huge challenge right now, is finding ways to acquire customers and leverage your existing customers and lean into your data on customers that you have to drive more repeat orders and referrals and everything else from your customer base, versus like the days of just throwing money at Facebook. You can still throw money at Facebook, but you can't really grow a sustainable business long-term just by throwing money at Facebook anymore.
Right. And it's great top of funnel, Facebook is, but if you're not nourishing that funnel and optimizing it continuously, I think you're going to struggle.
Yeah. So what do you recommend someone start with? Someone's listening right now and they're not using any of these tools, but they know, they're like, okay, I get it. I can increase my conversion. I know I'm not testing enough. I'm not doing any personalization. Where should someone start?
Again, I think it depends on the brand, but I would say probably a good flow would be to actually use this AI section builder, come up with some unique new sections and see, how those play out when you add those to your page with A/B testing, right? So insert that new section. It could be a new collection section or new info section or facts section, whatever. Put that on your product page, test out with A/B testing, and see how that performs. If that increases those conversions, or even just if it actually helps increase just length of time on the page, start small. See if that actually is something attractive to your customer base, and then try to optimize from there further, right? Do your next test.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense for that being the foundation, because that is what is building the sections, and then you personalize and test. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely the foundational tool, I would say. And we still have the page builder product, but the section builder is great for those quick section inputs, right?
Right.
Brand new section you want to test. You don't have to go through a whole design or dev process. You have the idea. It takes that idea, puts out a really polished section for you, and then just try it out, test it, see what happens.
Amazing. This has been very insightful. I'm super excited to see where Shogun's going. I mean, Shogun's been a leader in the space forever, one of the OG Shopify app companies, and still 12 years later now, innovating 11 years later, innovating like crazy, which is awesome to see. If someone wants to try these apps, it's getshogun.com?
Getshogun.com, or directly from the App Store. So it's Shogun A/B testing, Shogun personalization, and it soon will be Shogun AI section builder in the next week or so.
Amazing. And if someone wants to follow you personally, where are you? What social platform are you?
I am not on social.
You're too busy.
Kind of moved away from that. I'm on LinkedIn. So Phill Moorman on LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to find me. Or if you just want to reach out to me, ask questions, Phill@getshogun.com. I have every variation of Phill, but I typically spell it Phill with 2 L's. But Phill with 1 L will work. But yeah, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
More and more people, I ask this at the end of the show, they say, well, I don't really do social anymore. But like everyone has a LinkedIn account. So
you have to at this point.
Yes.
It's basically the resume.
Yeah. This has been great, Phill. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to include all of that in the show notes, and I just really appreciate your time and all the best with the launch on the new app. It sounds exciting. I think it's going to help a lot of merchants.
I think so too. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having us on here. It's great.
My complete pleasure.
Thank you.